A man has a choice. I chose the impossible. I built a city where the artist would not fear the censor, where the great will not be constrained by the small, where the scientist would not be bound by petty morality. I chose to build rapture.
What does the world do when a man seeks to go beyond the ordinary? When his vision surpasses the mundane and he dares to dream of greater things? How does the populace react to such a man whose foresight sees a future of endless possibilities, rather than the reality which is set in stone before them? Genius is, to the individual, a benefit, but to the masses, an enemy. It's one thing to walk amongst the giants. It's another entirely to have those giants walk amongst you. Society throughout history has come up with names to drag back down those who would reach for the stars. Insanity, madness. It's a cycle we've seen play itself out repeatedly. Howard Hughes was one such man. When he told the world, when he told Congress and the American people that he would build an aircraft 5 stories tall, with a wingspan which was beyond the length of a football field, they laughed at him. Soon followed by the whispering doubt of the people and the press and the government. It'll never fly, Howard. It's a scam for money, Howard. Howard's lost his mind. We've wasted all this money on a dream of a madman. That is until the spruce goose flew from its moorings in California and glided across the lake like a phoenix rising from the fucking ashes. Now sure, Howard was insane. He did shit in a diaper and wear Kleenex boxes for shoes. But that's not the point. The point is we must turn around and embrace that which makes us uncomfortable. To seek out the derision and snide laughter of those who would ground the men that would lead us into a brighter tomorrow. To hold aloft our visionaries so they can guide us towards greater things. For that journey is one which is well worth embarking upon. So buckle up, because we're going on a road trip. We're headed to Hampture, the scientific pursuit of underwater hamster objectivism. Now I can hear the naysayers already. Jim, we live in the age of the internet, where pranks are aplenty. No one in their right mind would seriously dedicate themselves to building an underwater hamster utopia. If it's not an outright troll, the person is clearly insane. They said that about Howard Hughes, too. But that plane flew, didn't it? No, Hampture is very much real. And it's a project that extends back nearly a decade. 10 full years of research and development. This is evidenced on the YouTube page, with multiple videos chronicling the advancement of this underwater hamster utopia. Not to mention the blog post. When you take these two aspects together, it becomes very clear that this is not just some short-term joke. No, this is a long-term idea. An idea for a better world, for a better future. And that's not even touching upon the schematics. So many wonderful ideas, an evolution in the process of building this utopia, starting out very crude, with just a basic idea of the direction in which our auteur wanted to go, but slowly, over time, morphing into a more professional project with a greater level of detail in the architecture and the composition and construction of this entire new aquatic society for hamsters. But what started this amazing journey? What gave our visionary his inspiration to achieve something so monumental? Well, in his very first posting back on September 14th of 2010, he answers some of this in his blog post, So Many Questions Going In. As we tumble ass backwards into a terrifying future which in no way resembles what we were promised by seemingly credible cartoons. On the way down, we occasionally snag our balls on gems like Danish visionary Peter Madsen, the man who is paving the way for ordinary people to go into space and die there spectacularly. Or Lloyd Godson, a highly motivated but unfortunately Australian gentleman who proved that even on a woman's salary you can construct and live in a homemade underwater habitat, a biosub, which replenishes its own air supply every time you pee into a vat full of algae. Great news for those who don't mind smelling more like pee than normal. I think you know who I'm talking about. But in either case, the tantalizingly lethal frontiers of the deep sea and outer space have been brought closer than they ever should by brave, industrious men, blowing their savings on personal rocket ships and underwater dorm rooms so that their children inherit nothing but charred ashes or a drenched corpse. In celebration of these men and the noble sacrifice they will make any day now, I've endeavored to recreate their feats, only in a manner that I can afford without compromising my lifestyle of gourmet killer whale eyeballs and surgeon-assisted directed brain massage with full release. That means I won't be going to space or to the depths of the ocean, but I can abide by that because I don't have 4G coverage there. And if I can't watch cats doing ridiculous shit on YouTube at the drop of a hat, I immediately take out my frustration on those around me. The superior option is to send man's tiniest, hairiest, finger-bitingest friend, the hamster. I love hamsters. It would trade 1 billion Snookies, or Kendras, or Tila Tequilas for even one hamster, or for none. Consequently, in sending the tiniest sociopathic cannibals to the final frontiers of human exploration, I'm compelled to take every precaution, including triply redundant life support systems, escape pods, and so on the course of ensuring their safety, no matter how many pop culture icons must be sacrificed to accomplish it. And with that one post began a 10-year odyssey for our creator at making his dream a reality. Oh sure, when it began it was on a small scale, testing it out in homemade aquariums to see if the equipment would actually hold up. Testing out the redundancies he had put in place to ensure the lives of his little hamster knots. Creating and then testing the variations of the different sized habitats and their arrangement to see what was the most conducive for happy hamster living in an underwater setting. And when he mentioned in that blog post that he was doing his best to ensure their safety, he wasn't kidding. Putting in double to triple redundancies to make sure that they led happy little lives.
Up here, we follow the airline. Goes to the source. An Azoo non-stop aquarium air pump. I chose this, despite the fact that it was about $90 over cheaper equivalents because of the non-stop bit. Inside, there's a sealed lead-acid battery of the type commonly used for the starter motors on motorcycles, and it will keep this compressor running as it is now for about 14 hours. Of course, in the event of a power outage, I wouldn't sit there and watch it run. I would use that time to get the hamsters out of the water, but 14 hours is a pretty big margin of safety, which is why I like it. And just as a demonstration, don't be alarmed, I'm going to unplug this. And there you have it. No grid power. It's now running completely on battery. Go over to the habitat. Exhaust is still bubbling. Air is still flowing. Everyone's happy.
But like all good projects, the scope began to expand. As the years passed by, it was no longer just a singular habitat. No, they needed vehicles as well. And what better vehicle for a little happy hamster underwater, for our furry little aquanaut, than a hamster submarine? The very first prototype of which was merely a toy submarine in the aquarium, but very soon became a working prototype which hamsters could attach to and ride around in underwater. Look at that little guy go! Clearly this is the best way to ferry hamsters from one habitat to another. And there would be multiple habitats, because the goal wasn't just to have them live in an aquarium. No, this was designed for real bodies of water, for lakes and rivers and oceans. And to prove that point, it's been field tested in the video Project Hampture Lake Mission from October of 2010. You can clearly see the little guy gets sent down 4 feet underwater, 24 feet from shore, for a total time of 5 hours. And faced with the realization that our little hamster knots, our little aquatic furry animals, would be riding around in their submarines from one habitat to the other, why not expand even further? Why not take the Earth Rover project and maybe retrofit it to give our little hamsters robotic tanks? Because what's more important when you're underwater and the size of a hamster than having a fully automated killing machine? You know, those sea otters are real assholes, and they need to be taught a lesson every once in a while. And so for many years, the project was going smoothly, expanding every once in a while, trying out new variations and ideas. It seemed like an underwater hamster utopia for objectivism was actually going to succeed. And our creator didn't let anything get him down at this time, even when others stole parts of his idea. I'm looking at you, Blizzard. Don't tell me you thought that up on your own. We know where you stole it from. But like any story of a triumph, there always needs to be a grain of tragedy within it, something which pulls back upon that dream, that stifles a visionary, and makes them take pause and consider if they want to continue. And sadly, that tragedy happened recently, back on September 13th of 2018. Rip George and Scott. I went on vacation recently, leaving a certain roommate in charge of feeding my hamsters. In retrospect, I should have not entrusted him with this task. I arrived home to find them dead in their cages because he had forgotten about them. Because of this, I had him evicted. I will be holding off on buying new hamsters for a while, to mourn the loss of George and Scott. They were very old at least, and lived full lives. Still, it's an infuriatingly senseless way for them to die.
Why are we still here? Just to suffer? Every night, I can feel my leg.
And so our brave little aquanauts, our pioneers in the field of underwater habitat living, died at the hands of a callous roommate who forgot to fucking feed them. And with that, the project came to an end. No longer possessing his beloved hamsters, motivation seemed to slip away from our creator. How would he pursue this goal, this vision of the future, without those that he had brought along the way? Was underwater hamster objectivism meant to die a death that day? Or would our creator, like Howard Hughes, fly that spruce goose right up the ass of all the doubters?
Hello in there. Are you ready to choose the impossible?
We're back in business. It's full throttle ahead for underwater hamster objectivism. Now, if you, like me, love visionaries and appreciate genius for what it is, I will include his Patreon link in the description below. Rest assured, after looking through the numerous videos, blog posts, and schematics, he actually does use the money to build underwater hamster habitats. And years from now, when you're sitting down and explaining to your grandchildren why they can't afford to go to college because you funded an underwater habitat for hamsters, rest assured you made the right call, because they're fucking adorable and they deserve submarines.
It doesn't matter what else you do with your life. As soon as you put hamsters underwater, you become the underwater hamster guy.